What's up, everybody? Scott here, half of the dynamic duo we call the Brewery Underground podcast. We recorded this short 6 minute episode that we were going to use as an intro to another episode, but we really couldn't find a place to put it, and it was kind of timely since it happened from July 2nd through July 6th. So we just wanted to get it out there. It highlights our two podcasts we did that week, two virtual live happy hours, a meetup with the Hilltoppers in Nashville who came from Louisville. We decided to put it out on its own since we really couldn't find a home for it anywhere else. So, hope you enjoy. Cheers.
So, Scott, we had a lot of different things going on over the last, week or so around the 4th of July. It was really busy, my friend. One of the things we did was an Instagram Live with the guys from the Foamy Heads podcast. How much fun was that?
That was cool. They invited us to come on. First time we'd ever done it, anything live like that. And it was more of a test, I think, for them and us. And they said maybe 20, 30 minutes. Would we go an hour and a half
Yeah.
on the thing? It was awesome. And it was great for all of us. And we kind of figured out how to do it and how easy it was. And we had a great time with it. So
We really did.
And by the way, which is something we're talking about doing again on our own, just kind of doing something. It's that easy and cool.
Absolutely. One of the things that I really liked is, they do a podcast, we do a podcast. They've been doing the podcast for a couple of years now. And, they reached out to us and they said, hey, what we appreciate is that you guys were all supportive of everyone in the beer community. And they were really talking about how we want to support all the brewery owners, around Middle Tennessee. I mean, we were talking about just the competition that keeps going on. I mean, you have a lot of different changes that are going on. I'll specifically talk about Murfreesboro because Murfreesboro has been growing quite a bit, and over the last couple of years, we've seen that where it used to be we would go to Murfreesboro and you would have a couple of breweries there, say Panther Creek and Cedar Glade, and also Mayday there as well. And Deep South Growlers has a location there. Over the last, I would say, year or so, Mr. Brews has come in. Also, you have Middle Ground Brewery that has also come in, and then Tailgate opened in Murfreesboro. So we were talking about that it's just spreading everything around. We want everybody to support everybody and not just go to one specific location.
No, that and you led with Foamy Heads kind of, appreciating what we were doing. We appreciate them too. They invited us on that thing. We got to talk to them at the Preds Beer Fest. They were inviting there too. So there is a whole community kind of thing and that we're doing and they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, beyond that, on 4th of July weekend, we had a group of gentlemen from the Louisville area that had reached out to us called the Hilltappers. And man, did we have a fun time with these two guys.
Yeah, they came down from Louisville. They told us they were coming. They asked for some recommendations on breweries and they hit them all, dude. And we got to meet them at Tennessee Brew Works and Marble Fox. You hung out a little longer than I did. I had to go, but you stuck around, and those guys were great. They brought us some beer.
They did, Tom and Brad.
Yes, one of which I drank earlier, and the next one I'm going to drink, which I'm not opening yet, is from them as well. So great dudes, man, and we will definitely be in touch with those guys again.
Yeah, and we appreciate all the beer that they gave us. And the other thing, too, again, it goes back to the beer community thing, is they reach out to us looking for recommendations on breweries in Nashville. And we were happy to tell them, hey, if you want to go here, you want to go there, because I know that they went to a whole lot of them on the 4th of July weekend. I think they had hit the two you just mentioned, but they had also hit like Bearded Iris and Southern Grist and a few others around the area, Barrique, I believe, and Crazy Gnome. There's probably a few. Broadcast Brewing.
Yeah, those, and they ended up having some extra time, so they fit in a couple that they didn't have on their itinerary originally. So Broadcast and Fela Forest were a couple of those that they worked in as well. So glad they got to go there too. We talked earlier on a podcast we did just before this about kind of showing off your city and showing off some of the breweries. Those are a couple of the ones that you like to show off.
Yeah, definitely. And I know they also went to a tailgate location
Hmm.
in Nashville as well. So it was great to see them. And bouncing around a little bit, going back to Instagram Live, we did a podcast with our buddies Keith and Coop out of Delaware, Porch Beers USA. We have a podcast, a two-parter, coming up with them in the future. But you also did an Instagram Live with them.
Yeah. So later on that day, they told us they were doing a virtual happy hour live with some people, and I was just going to jump on to listen. And they were having some trouble getting some people on, so they invited me on. So I don't know, it was a good 2.5 hours I was on that thing, and it was great. Which is another reason we're kind of looking at doing it ourselves too. It's just a lot of fun. And you just get on there. There's no format, which is the nice part. You just get on, you just talk to people, and you drink beer.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was a fun time, 4th of July weekend, drinking a lot of great beer and meeting up with a lot of folks in the beer community.
Hey, before you go too far, you know how we started that week? Was with a podcast on the 2nd, and that was with Liz. That was that same week.
Yep.
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 Every
Our
day
friend
I'm bubbling.
Liz.
Yes.
Every day I'm bubbling in the beer community. Our friend Liz in Cincinnati. By the time this podcast airs, that podcast would have already aired that you can find. It's the Cincinnati Takeover, my hometown. And we talked all about all the breweries in Cincinnati. And, one of the things I got to say, we know there are so many breweries in Cincinnati that we've hit. Some of them we still need to hit. We will get around to it at some point. But, man, it was a lot of fun talking to Liz. She was fantastic. She made her podcast debut with us. And I have a feeling that we're going to have her on in the future.
Oh, she'll be a star somewhere. She'll leave us behind. She'll forget our names. she was that good.
We hope you enjoyed that quick episode. Cheers. I'm going to find a beer. See ya.